We did how many rounds? We probably did at least 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8-2.
Yeah.
That's good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah. This guy pick up my
Of
mom.
course, that's
Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach are set to run it back on August 16th in Las Vegas as Tank enters beast mode for camp and Roach locks in for redemption. In the early stages of preparation, videos have begun circulating online showing Gervonta Tank Davis back in the gym, signaling the start of his preparation for the highly anticipated rematch. The footage captures Davis working through a series of intense drills aimed at sharpening his explosive power, stamina, focus, and control. His return to training suggests a serious approach to refining his craft ahead of what's expected to be another high-stakes showdown. Further evidence of his focus emerged as Tank Davis was seen unloading on the heavy bag with consistent power and explosiveness, signaling clear intentions for the rematch. His sharp focus and intensity in training suggest he's gearing up for a decisive knockout, aiming to leave no doubt when he steps back into the ring. In addition to his return to the gym, fans have begun speculating that Gervonta Davis may have brought a new coach into his training camp for the rematch with Lamont Roach. While no official confirmation has been made, the presence of unfamiliar faces in recent training footage has fueled rumors of a shift in his corner, possibly due to the less than stellar performance displayed last time.
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8-2.
Yeah.
That's good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah. This guy pick up my mom.
Of course, that's
However, on the other side of the ring, Tank Davis isn't the only one back in grind mode. Lamont Roach has also returned to the gym, laser focused as he gears up for the rematch. Recent footage shows Roach drilling combinations, sharpening his reflexes, and hammering the bags with surgical precision. With both fighters now in full training mode, the tension heading into their second meeting is already building. Reflecting on their initial encounter, former world champion Paulie Malignaggi suggested that Tank Davis may have underestimated Roach's toughness the first time around, and that if Gervonta had fully understood Roach's toughness, he might have thought twice before stepping into the ring. Malignaggi pointed out that while certain opponents may not seem like major threats on paper, Roach defied expectations in their first encounter by coming in highly prepared and delivering beyond what many anticipated. He emphasized that a closer look reveals Roach's deep experience and lifelong commitment to the sport, making him a far more dangerous opponent than the surface suggests.
I'll go out on a limb right now and say if Gervonta thought Lamont was going to be this tough, he wouldn't have fought him. You know, that's been the MO throughout his whole tenure. You know, he on paper they don't look like they're going to be tough fights. When I thought
T-Mobile Arena,
just when I thought
nice.
they couldn't get any dumber, they pull a move like this and totally redeem themselves. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Go to Vegas, you pay less taxes, you do the fight again, forget the Jake Paul fight. You got to give Lamont Roach the rematch. Give big credit here because I have a lot of criticism for Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez for the choice of opponents. But at least Gervonta Davis is doing the Mayweather. He's giving the immediate rematch.
Right.
You had a tough fight, you're doing the immediate rematch. I like it. But you know where they evened out the stakes because it was such a big difference? Character and backbone. Lamont has a ton of character and backbone. Gervonta has none. So as soon as you push back on Gervonta Davis, he's looking for a way out. You push back on Lamont Roach, he's trying to get in your face. And that sort of evened the stakes. That was, if you watch the fight, that evened up the whole thing. That evened up the whole thing because now Lamont said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I can't match him for speed. I can't match him for power. Let me hold my ground. Let me see what happens if I step to him while I keep fundamentally tight so that I don't give him the openings for his big power.
Furthermore, Shakur Stevenson weighed in on the possibility of a rematch with Lamont Roach, suggesting that the bout could take an unexpected turn. He made it clear that if Gervonta Tank Davis is serious about stepping into the ring with him, he'll need to bring his absolute best. Stevenson warned that facing him could be a dangerous move for Tank, highlighting the high-risk nature of the matchup. Despite his confidence, Stevenson gave credit to Lamont Roach, acknowledging him as a formidable and highly skilled opponent.
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left, so he better be on his A game. I like Lamont in the rematch.
I think you were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank's style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. I think, I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm going to keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
How you think the one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So it's going to look like somebody else already did it.
Echoing the competitive tone, Keyshawn Davis believes a clash with Lamont Roach would deliver a compelling stylistic matchup, emphasizing that he wouldn't shy away from the action. According to Keyshawn Davis, if the two were to meet in the ring, fans could expect a fight filled with exchanges rather than evasive tactics. He also expressed appreciation for Roach's performance in his previous outing with Tank, acknowledging that Roach's rise adds much-needed depth and competition to the 135-pound division.
If you go by my eyes opinion, I feel like me and Lamont Roach, stylistically, is the hottest fight in the weight division. Yeah. Lamont Roach stood right there with Gervonta, the hardest puncher in the division, right? Ooh. So put him up against me, I'm not going nowhere.
Y'all really gonna box, man.
We gonna fight. I feel like stylistically, that's one of the best matchups in the division for sure. Man, ain't nobody scared of nobody. Ain't nobody scared of nobody. It's all about the bread at the end of the day. In the perfect world, if I can have it, how I want to have it. Thank God Lamont Roach made a name for 135 division because we needed somebody. Okay. Let's be real. So now we got a new person. Thank God. So now we got Lamont Roach. If I can have it my way, Shakur and Tank, y'all go ahead and fight. Y'all go ahead and do that. Y'all go ahead.
Fueling the intensity of the rivalry, Lamont Roach has issued a firm warning ahead of the rematch, making it clear that Gervonta Davis better come fully prepared. Roach stated that he knows exactly what he's stepping into and is fully aware of the challenges Davis presents. Confident in his preparation, Roach made it known that he's not only ready for what Davis brings to the table, but also fully dialed in on his own abilities as he aims to make a definitive statement in their second meeting.
I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people get it messed up. That same path, he better be ready. Because I know what I'm coming to do. I know what I prepared for, and I know what I can do. I knew that the lights wasn't going to affect me. I'm not one of them, like, and I know people, like you said, people say what don't affect them and what.
You ain't gonna know till you get there.
You ain't gonna know till you get
say
there.
anything you want, but I'm gonna act like I've been there before, even though I haven't, brother. Them lights hit you, and you start looking out at that crowd, like I ain't never seen as many people at a fight before. Bruh, whatever's in you gonna come out. And if you got some turn in you, or if you not as confident as you've been trying to, we gonna see it.
You gonna see. We preparing for the best Gervonta Davis that's gonna ever show up in the ring. All the things he do good, we gonna amplify it, and we gonna be prepared for that. I wasn't hoping that he was slipping, or I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact.
Furthermore, Lamont Roach Sr. shared that ever since the first fight, the one question everyone keeps asking is about the rematch. He reflected on the initial bout, saying it unfolded exactly as their team had prepared for, and while Lamont Roach may have shocked the world, his performance came as no surprise within their camp. They knew the level of talent they had. Looking ahead, Roach Sr. warned fans to buckle up, promising that the rematch is set to be a roller coaster of a fight.
You know what I'm saying? So it just was made for a great fight. So people need to just sit back and get ready for part two. I think people know who we are now. And if we win, we should get the nod. So I don't think we got to go in there forcing something, or saying this is the only way we can get a result. No, I just say get ready, man. Put your seatbelts on, and when that thing happen, man, make sure y'all support. No, I just say get ready, man. Put your seatbelts on, and when that thing happen, man, make sure y'all support. Come to the fight, buy the fight, and be the biggest fan, cheering whoever you cheering for, no matter. But you're gonna see another great performance by the Reaper, man. The Reaper ain't playing.
Looking ahead to the possibilities, Chris Algieri believes that if Gervonta Davis does his homework, comes in with a refined game plan, and manages to secure a win, it could open the door for a trilogy. According to Algieri, the stage is set for a potential third showdown if Davis makes the right adjustments and delivers when it counts.
I'm really curious to see what transition or what changes that Gervonta can make going into the fight now, because now this is a whole new fight. The cat's out of the bag. Lamont could really fight. Gervonta knows he's going to be uncomfortable in the fight. So his preparation is going to be really important, which is why it was funny when he said, we could run back in May. We're going to run back in June. That was never going to happen. He needed to really work on a game plan now. Maybe not, because if Gervonta goes and does his homework and does his due diligence and comes prepared with a different game plan and then comes out victorious, now we could have a trilogy. So I think that it's not just going to be I could just fight the same fight. Because also, I don't think it's going to be the same fight. I don't think Gervonta's going to bring the same thing.
Can Gervonta fight a different fight?
I think so.
Because it has to be, again, you have to have the mental.
I'm not saying Gervonta wins hands down, but I'm saying he can bring a different look.
Meanwhile, adding a dose of realism, Showbiz the Adult expressed his anticipation for the rematch, calling for Lamont Roach to leave it all in the ring. He warned that anything less than full commitment could reduce Roach's breakthrough moment to just a fleeting 15 minutes of fame. Emphasizing that true champions possess unwavering grit, Showbiz pointed out that some fighters struggle to maintain focus once they reach the top. He hopes Roach isn't among those who lose their edge when the spotlight hits.
Roach, listen, bro. Brother, you can't be in silk pajamas after a draw. I'm concerned. This is what I want to say about champions. A lot of times, people see the challenger as the rough guy, as the hungry guy, and not the champion. But there's a reason why champions become champions. And I'm talking about reigning champions, because they are the ones with grit. A lot of times, you have the Buster Douglases, you have the Andy Ruizes, you have somebody do something unlikely, not used to being there and don't know how to carry themselves. I'm not saying that's Roach. What I'm saying is I hope it's not Roach, because I want that rematch to be a great fight. If Tank just come in and blow Roach out, I only have 15 minutes of fame.
And instead proves he belongs at the elite level. Sharing a candid perspective, Jeff Mayweather reflected on the outcome of the first fight with surprise, admitting he had Lamont Roach winning. While he doesn't view the draw as a robbery, he emphasized that the fight was close, but if he were scoring it, Roach would have edged it.
And basically, this next fight, I think that if Tank doesn't start fast, I mean, be looking for whatever it is he's going to try to do within the first 5 rounds or 4 rounds. I think he's going to lose. I think that he's going to lose to Roach. I think the one thing is that he has to start faster. He has to be looking for a knockout in round 1, round 2, round 3, every round really, but those early rounds is where normally he just gives those rounds away. It's almost like you can be a guy that really not that great a fighter that will still end up winning rounds. Me myself, I mean, I'm a big Tank fan, and I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I had Roach winning the fight.
Mayweather believes Roach's performance may have shifted the perception around Gervonta Davis, noting that fighters may now be less intimidated by Tank moving forward. Looking ahead to the rematch, Mayweather warned that if Davis doesn't come out aggressively in the first 4 to 5 rounds, he risks falling behind and potentially losing the fight.
I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave Roach the fight. I won't say it's been diminished, but I do think that more people, more fighters that probably were afraid of him are not going to be afraid of him anymore. Nobody's talking about is the fact that they did fight each other when they were young, growing up, when they were kids. And sometimes stuff like that actually has a real meaning on who's scared of who or whatever, and I mean, I think that Roach went in there and proved that he wasn't scared of Tank at all.
Offering a tactical take, trainer Greg Hackett weighed in on the potential rematch, emphasizing the need for both fighters to evolve from their first encounter. He believes each must bring a new element to the ring while maintaining caution, given how evenly matched their initial bout was. Hackett noted that the first fight was too competitive to call a clear winner, with momentum swinging back and forth throughout. He saw stretches where both fighters looked in control, underscoring the razor-thin margin between them. Looking ahead, Hackett suggested that this rivalry may not end with just a rematch. A trilogy could be on the horizon.
You got to learn from the first fight. And you got to bring something different, but at the same time, you still got to be careful. That goes for both sides. You can't pick a winner. The fight was too good. You can't pick a winner. I see where Lamont neutralized Tank, and I see where Tank neutralized Lamont. Somebody gotta go even further. This might be one of them Jones, man. We might see 3 of these. No bullshit. We might see 3 of these Jones. Fights like this, right? What they do to boxing. All right, you see how the 140-pound division look right now?
Yeah.
See how there's a lot of rotating with the belts? Every weight class would look like that if they would just let the game be the game. If they didn't have so many picks and try to get so much inside information on what a guy doing and all of that, if they just let the guys fight and they would bring guys from everywhere all over the world, this is how fights will look all the time.
Rounding out the pre-fight insights, Coach Kenny shared his outlook on the upcoming rematch, predicting that the fight will unfold differently this time around. While he expects another competitive clash, he also anticipates a cleaner, more technical battle, with both fighters landing sharp, well-timed shots, reminiscent of their first encounter, but with new wrinkles added to the mix.
Both of them, like I said, they both at top of the game. I see a competitive fight. Nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight, Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't speak on what I seen but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different. Lamont can do a little bit of everything, man. He always been like that since he was a kid, you know? Good fight, top amateur, top pro, you know? Yeah, great pedigree, man. Great team of people, great family, you know? He can do a little bit of everything.
As both camps ramp up their preparations, the stage is set for a rematch brimming with tension, tactical intrigue, and raw ambition, with Gervonta Tank Davis redoubling his focus and Lamont Roach matching that intensity punch for punch. August 16th promises more than just a fight, it promises a reckoning. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with all the fight news, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss a beat. And we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates.